Welcome back to World Facts. Ever wonder about the wild stories behind the everyday things you use? From your phone to sticky notes, these inventions have secret origins. Some are happy accidents, others are epic fails turned into world-changing successes. Today we're diving into the bizarre, funny, and unbelievable backstories of 10 things you use all the time. Get ready for tales of messy labs, unexpected genius, and inventions that changed the world in ways no one saw coming. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for number 1. It involves scientists, caffeine, and a lazy hack that changed how we see the world. Let's jump in. Number 10. Let's talk about the microwave oven, a kitchen staple that almost everyone has, but few know the wild story behind its invention. Back in the 1940s, Percy Spencer was an engineer at Raytheon, a company focused on military technology. He wasn't thinking about cooking or convenience, he was deep in the world of radar, working with powerful magnetrons to improve detection systems during World War II. One day, while testing a magnetron, Spencer noticed something odd. The chocolate bar he'd stashed in his shirt pocket had completely melted. At first he was puzzled. Was it the heat in the lab or something else? Instead of brushing it off, Spencer's curiosity kicked in. He wondered if the invisible waves from the magnetron could actually cook food. This was a totally new idea. No one had ever tried to harness radar waves for cooking before. To test his theory, he grabbed a handful of popcorn kernels and placed them near the magnetron. Suddenly, popcorn started popping and flying all over the lab, surprising everyone around. Next, he tried an egg. The result? The egg exploded, splattering a nearby colleague and causing quite a mess. But these little accidents proved something big. Microwaves could heat food quickly and from the inside out. The principle was now clear. Microwaves could cook food in a way no one had imagined before. It was fast, efficient, and revolutionary. Raytheon quickly saw the potential and patented the idea. They built the first commercial microwave oven, called the Raider Range. It was massive, about the size of a refrigerator, and cost thousands of dollars, so only restaurants and big institutions could afford it at first. But remember, all of this started with a simple melted chocolate bar and a scientist who refused to ignore a strange occurrence. Spencer's willingness to ask why turned a ruined snack into a world-changing invention. Over the years, the microwave oven shrank in size, dropped in price, and found its way into millions of homes. It became a symbol of modern convenience, transforming the way we cook and eat. So next time you nuke your lunch or make popcorn in just a few minutes, remember, it all began with a melted chocolate bar and a curious mind in a radar lab. That's the power of curiosity and the magic of asking questions, even about the smallest things. Ready for the next story? Let's go. Scene transition. Number 9. The computer mouse. In 1964, Douglas Engelbart wanted to make computers easier to use. His solution? A wooden block with 2 wheels and a red button. It tracked movement and let users point and click, making computers accessible to everyone. The cord looked like a tail, so they called it a mouse. Engelbart's demo in 1968 showed off not just the mouse, but the future of computing. Video calls, hypertext, and more. That humble wooden block changed how we interact with technology forever. Next time you click, remember, it all started with a block of wood and a big idea. Number 8. Bubble wrap. You know it as the irresistible packing material that begs to be popped, but its origins are far more surprising than you might think. Back in 1957, inventors Alfred Fielding and Marc Chavan were on a mission to create something new and exciting for home decor. Their big idea? Textured wallpaper that would stand out from the crowd and give rooms a modern, futuristic vibe. To bring their vision to life, they sealed 2 shower curtains together, trapping pockets of air between the layers. The result was a bumpy, cushiony material they called air cap. It was unlike anything anyone had seen before. But when they tried to market it as wallpaper, homeowners weren't impressed. The idea of covering your walls in bubbles just didn't catch on, no matter how fun it looked. Not ready to give up, they tried pitching it as insulation for greenhouses, hoping the trapped air would help regulate temperature. But again, the world just wasn't ready for bubble-covered glass. Years later, a new opportunity popped up. IBM needed a way to ship their delicate computers safely across the country. The inventors saw their chance. A clever marketer suggested using bubble wrap as protective packaging. IBM loved the idea, and suddenly, the failed wallpaper had a brand new purpose. Bubble wrap quickly became the go-to solution for shipping fragile items, revolutionizing the packaging industry and saving countless breakable treasures from disaster. It's a classic example of how some of the world's best inventions start as flops. Sometimes, failure is just the first step towards something amazing. And let's be honest, popping those bubbles is way more satisfying than staring at them on your living room wall. It's a stress reliever, a guilty pleasure, and a universal joy. From failed decor to global packaging hero, Bubble Wrap's journey is a story of creativity, resilience, and unexpected success. On to the next, scene transition. Number 7. The Slinky. In 1943, engineer Richard James was working on ship stabilizers when he knocked a spring off his desk. Instead of crashing, it walked down books and onto the floor. James saw toy potential. His wife Betty named it Slinky. After a live demo at a department store, all 400 Slinkies sold out in 90 minutes. A clumsy accident and a little physics created one of the world's most iconic toys. Sometimes playtime starts with a mistake. Ready for another accidental invention? Let's keep going. Number 6. The Post-it Note. It's hard to imagine an office, classroom, or even a kitchen without these little squares of sticky paper. But their story is a perfect example of how innovation can come from the most unexpected places, and from so-called failures. Back in 1968, Dr. Spencer Silver, a chemist at 3M, was on a mission to invent a super-strong adhesive. He spent countless hours in the lab mixing chemicals and testing formulas, hoping to create a glue that would revolutionize the industry. But instead, he ended up with something quite the opposite, a weak, pressure-sensitive adhesive that could stick and unstick without leaving residue. For years, Silver's invention sat unused. No one at 3M could figure out a practical use for a glue that wasn't strong enough to hold things together. It seemed destined for the scrap heap, until Art Fry, a fellow 3M scientist and a choir singer, faced a very relatable problem. His paper bookmarks kept slipping out of his hymnal during choir practice. Remembering Silver's failed glue, Fry had a lightbulb moment. He coated some paper with the adhesive, creating bookmarks that stayed put but could be removed without damaging the pages. This simple idea sparked the creation of the Post-it Note, a product that would soon become a staple in offices and homes around the world. What started as a failed experiment and a choir singer's frustration turned into one of the world's most useful and beloved office supplies. The Post-it Note is now used for reminders, brainstorming, and even art projects, proof that sometimes the best ideas come from unexpected places. Sometimes the solution comes before the problem. It just takes a little creativity and maybe a bit of frustration to see its true potential. So next time you jot down a reminder or leave a note for someone, remember, it all began with a glue that wasn't good enough for its original purpose but turned out to be perfect for something entirely new. And that's the magic of innovation, finding value where no one else thought to look. On to the next story. Scene transition. 11. Number 5. The implantable pacemaker. In the 1950s, engineer Wilson Greatbatch accidentally grabbed the wrong resistor while building a heart sound recorder. The circuit pulsed like a heartbeat, by mistake. Greatbatch realized this could control a faulty heart. He refined the design, making it small enough to implant. In 1960, the first patient received a pacemaker and lived 18 more months. A simple error became a medical miracle. Sometimes grabbing the wrong part saves lives. Let's see what nature inspired next. Scene transition. Number 4. Velcro. In 1941, Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral noticed burrs sticking to his clothes and dog after a hike. Under a microscope, he saw tiny hooks on the burrs and loops in the fabric. He spent years replicating this hook and loop system, finally perfecting it with nylon. The fashion world scoffed, but NASA used Velcro in space, and suddenly it was everywhere. One man's curiosity about a weed led to a fastener that changed the world. Nature's design, human ingenuity. Next up, the world's most stubborn alarm clock. Scene transition 10. Number 3. The alarm clock. In 1787, Levi Hutchins built the first personal alarm clock. But it only rang at 4 a.m., his chosen wake-up time. No snooze, no adjustments, just a bell to get him up before sunrise. Hutchins never tried to sell it. It was a personal solution to his own problem. Adjustable alarm clocks came decades later. Sometimes, inventions start as one person's fix for a very specific need. The world's first alarm clock. For one man at one time every day, onto a discovery that saved millions. Scene transition. Number 2. Penicillin. In 1928, Alexander Fleming returned from vacation to find a moldy petri dish in his messy lab. The mold had killed the surrounding bacteria. Fleming realized he'd found something big. He named it penicillin, the first true antibiotic. It took a decade and other scientists to mass-produce it, just in time for World War II. A forgotten dish, a lucky accident, and a sharp eye led to a discovery that saved millions. Sometimes being messy pays off. Ready for the laziest invention ever? Let's finish strong. Scene transition. Number 1. The first webcam. In 1991, Cambridge scientists were tired of walking to the coffee pot only to find it empty. Their solution? Set up a camera to monitor the pot and stream the image to their computers. It started as a lazy hack, but when the feed went online in 1993, it became an internet sensation. The Trojan Room coffee pot cam ran until 2001, inspiring webcams everywhere. All because a few scientists wanted to save a trip for coffee. Sometimes laziness sparks innovation, and that's how a coffee pot changed the world. Scene transition. 10. There you have it. 10 wild stories behind the inventions we use every day. From melted chocolate to coffee cams, these tales prove that accidents, curiosity, and even laziness can change the world. Which invention surprised you most? Or do you know another cool story? Drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more hidden histories from World Facts. Thanks for watching. And remember, the next big idea might be hiding in your own everyday life. See you next time.